everyone, my name is Jennifer. Welcome to our September School Holidays program, Macrame tutorial workshop. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these. So this is just a basic macrame plant hanger. So we're going to learn a few different knots. So this is a type of half square knot here, and I'll show you how to do a full square knot. So I didn't do it on this one, but yeah, it's similar to this. You just do a little bit of a different step. So I'll walk you through all the steps. So hopefully you got your material packs to follow on at home. Let's get started. So for the workshop, you don't really need many materials. All you really need is some rope. So you can buy macrame rope from Spotlight. You can buy it online, lots of different stores. You can also use t-shirt jersey yarn, which they sell at Spotlight and other stores like that, Lincraft and things like that. It's a bit cheaper, and you could do lots of crazy colors with that too. So that's what you'll need. That's pretty much the only thing you'll need for this workshop. So to measure out how much I needed, when I first learned how to do this, I watched a video and it told me to use 300 centimeters per piece of string. But I found that was too long and I ended up wasting a lot. So I usually measure my arm span and then just double that. So I think it's roughly about 200 centimeters. If you have your packs at home, you can measure and double check. But that's usually more than enough. It's probably too much sometimes, but it all depends on how long you want your macrame plant hanger to be. So you can have a go with the materials we've provided, and then you can adjust it to suit your space when you have it a second go, because hopefully you'll be addicted after the workshop. You'll need 8 pieces of string at that length at 200 centimeters. So you should have 8 pieces. And then you'll need another 2 pieces that are roughly about half a meter. So I sort of did one arm span for that one. So you'll need those. So 2 of those, 8 of the other ones. And then to the thing that you build your plant hanger on, you'll need a ring. So you could use, we've put silver rings in your pack, but you could use a wooden ring if you prefer the look of that. I'm still waiting on Bunnings to deliver my rings to put in these packs. So all I've got is a carabiner at the moment, but that'll work fine. You just need something sort of circular to start building on so that you can use it to hang your basket when you're finished. So we've got all our materials, so let's have a go at learning the knots. So the first step to creating your plant hanger, you'll take your circular ring that we've provided. I'm going to use the carabiner, and I've got a stand here which is really handy, a plant stand, but I've packed some plastic hooks in your bags for you, so you can stick those to a wall or a door frame or whatever, and you can put your circular rings onto those to build with if you don't have anything available. You could always use a nail that's sticking out of the wall if you have something like that to hook it onto. You just need a place to start building your macrame. So yeah, if you have a stand like this, that's fantastic. If not, use the hooks in the packs, stick it to a wall. They're removable so they won't wreck your walls, so in case your parents are worried. And now we're going to get building. So we're going to take the 8 strands that we've cut, and we're going to thread them through the hole. So we need to thread them through so that the strings are even on both sides. So they're an even length. So we just try and work that out now. Okay, cool. I think that's a good start. And I think you want to find as well a comfortable position to stick the hook onto your wall, because if you hang the hook up too high, trust me, your arms are going to be killing by the end of it, because you'll have to have them up for quite a while to do all the different types of knots. So word of wisdom, try and build it at the right level for you. So I'll get in a bit closer now and I'll show you the first little knot that we'll have to do. That's just to create the tension at the top to support the plant. So hopefully you can see. It's going to be a bit tricky because of the color. Basically, we're going to create a bit of a U shape with the string. So something like that to go in front. I think that was a bit big, but probably about that big, like that. And then what we've got to do is start wrapping that string around the little loop. So keep going, and you've just got to make sure that that string is coming out of the top. So actually I might start that again. So you've got your U shape, keep this up, and then start wrapping around. So just keep going. So it's probably hard, my fingers are in the way, but so just keep wrapping that around. Cool. Okay, so now we've got to put this string through the hole like that. So now when we yank on this part up here, it's going to pull it really tight. So that creates the support. So you just pull down on both strings. So that creates this sort of support for us to start building and working our way down. So that should be really tight. You can rewind this and go through those steps again if you need. And now we're going to start working our way building down with the other knots. So I might just tie these strings up here so they're not in the way. And we'll cut these off later because you don't really need this. This is just a bit of excess. So I'll move that up. All right, and for the next knot, I'm going to get a bit tangled here, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of string, and we're going to do a half square knot. So for the half square knot, you bring this string on the right over and around. So you're going over those two, but then this string goes on top. So over, under, and then this string has to come through to the other side. So I'll just pull it up. And you can keep pulling all the way up, or if you want your knots to start a bit lower, you can always just leave a bit of a gap. I usually like to leave a bit of a gap. So that's your half square knot there. I'll repeat it again. So this string comes around and goes underneath this string, and then this string here needs to go through the other knot like that. So you start to end up with a bit of a pattern. So I'll do it a bit faster here and pull it up, pull it up. And as you're building this, the rope will naturally twist. So just keep going. Okay, so that's, see how it's naturally curled now? I haven't had to do anything. I just kept repeating the half knot and it naturally rotates, because if you were doing the full square, it keeps it a little bit straight up, but it's created this really nice natural curve. So you can keep going further down if you want. You could do this the whole way down if you wanted. You just have to make sure you have enough string to tie off at the end. So now I will show you another style of knot, but first you have to actually, repeat this for the other sections. So you'd go and grab your next 4 pieces and start again. So remember, over, under, and through, and then just pull, over, under, through, pull, over, under, through, pull, over, under, through, pull, and you just keep going. And so you do your next section, your next 4 pieces and your next 4 pieces, and then we'll cut to us going onto the next section. Okay, so just moved here to get a better shot for you guys. So up the top here, we've finished our 4 sections, and we're going to move down to doing the half square knot. So when you look at your strings now, there'll be quite a bit of difference. There's some that are a lot shorter and some that are a lot longer. That's because we've done the half square knot. So the next step with the square knot, we're going to join some of these strips together. So we're going to take 2 strings from this one and 2 strings from this one. So you'll have 2 shorter and 2 longer strings in your section. So I usually try and keep the 2 shorter strings in the middle for this. So I might just try and bring you a little bit closer so you can see what I mean. So I've tried to move all the other strings out of the way so you can see this step properly. So to do the half square knot, we've got the 2 short strings in the middle, we've got the 2 side strings. So we're going to do the same steps we did before. So just the half knot, so over, under, and then through. So that's the half knot. Now we're going to do it in reverse. So this side's going to go across and under this one, and then through this side. And that's going to create the square knot. So it's a little bit different. So this string won't curl. You'll end up just with a straight string. So we'll repeat it again. So start on the right, over, under, through. And then the left, over, under, through. And we'll just keep going, over, under, through. You just have to try and keep track. Remember which side you did. So we just did right. So now we do the left. So right and left. And right and left. So that's what the full square knot looks like. So it ends up being a bit of a straighter style. So we just repeat that on all the other sides. So I'll just lift these strings down again. So now, if we're going to do the next one, we're going to grab these 2 leftover strings and 2 strings from the next side as well. And then we'll repeat the steps. So remember to find the 2 shorter strings. They're going to be in the center, because you'll see at the end, it all sort of evens out. So there's one. So these are both short, so I'll have to swap for a different strand. So go again. So over, under, through. And then on the left side, over, under, through. Keep going and try and make them even when you're doing it. So over, under, through. And over, under, through. Keep going. So we'll continue all the way around with the other 2 sides as well, and see how we go. Okay, so now we've got our half knot and our square knots, and you can see it's starting to look a little bit like a plant hanger. So the next thing we need to do is find a pot at home that we can use to measure the next section, because this is where we're going to join it all and where we're going to get the pot to sit in. So where you put the knots now will depend on the size of your pot as well. So best to find a pot and join me for the next step. So for the next step, you've got your 4 separate pieces. We're going to join these again together. How we did, we sort of borrowed the 2 strips from the neighbor. We're going to do that again. So these 2 guys are neighbors. We're going to take 2 strings from each side and we're going to join them with a square knot. So I'll move these strings out of the way again because I think that helps with seeing what you have to do. So you've got 1 string from one side and 1 string from another, and you'll notice some are quite a bit shorter, so it'll probably be best to keep the short ones in the middle, because that means we don't have to waste the string that we've got left. So you do another square knot. So probably, I'd say that's probably about 10 centimeters down, so about 10 centimeters down from where your square knot is. We do the square knot again, so square knot, yep, I'll go a bit higher actually, because I'm worried I haven't left myself enough string. So there you go, you've got your first square knot, and now we'll have to repeat it with all the other pairs. So these 2 will have to link with these 2 that are next to him. Okay, so we just take 2 in the middle and again do the square knot and try and make it so that it's even with the one next door. So there we go. So you just do a single square knot on each of these. So that's 1, 2, rotate, usually flip the ring around if that's helps a little bit. So 2 from here, 2 from here, same dealio. So do the half knot again, half knot on the other side, and that gives us the square knot. So it's a lot of the same really, it's just different ways of using the knot. So we went from a half square knot to a square knot, and now we're using a single square knot to do another technique. So we're down to our lucky last 2 pairs. So we'll get those guys in a square knot. And here we go. And we're done. Okay, so now we need to get our pot to measure. So now you can take your pot and stick it in to your plant hanger underneath. So spread the ropes out around and you should be able to see where it can sit comfortably. So you can just bunch up all the strings underneath your hand like this. And that's looking pretty good, isn't it? So now, so this is the tricky bit. I'm a bit of a one-woman show right now, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this by myself, but I'll try. So I usually cut a bit of an extra piece of string to tie a knot. If you had someone around that could hold it, you could just repeat the knot that we did at the top straight away. But because I don't have anyone here right now, I'm just going to use a piece of string to tie a single knot. And that should let the plant hanger sit. Uh-oh, I've lost the string. I've lost the end of the string. Hold on, I have to do a knot again. Sorry guys, take 2. Okay. So, just do a single knot under here. Let's just pull the string tight. tight enough to hold your plant pot. Do a bit of a double knot here. All right, and I'll grab another piece of string just to show you what we need to repeat at the top down here, okay? Okay, so now we just repeat the same thing we did with the V at the start. So just do your loop and wrap around, going over the loop as many times as you can. Okay, here we go. Oops, I think one too many times here. Okay, so then just loop it through again and pull. So then you'll get a tight knot that should keep your pot secure. And now, so yeah, I've ended up with quite a bit of extra string, so you can just cut this to the length you want. You can, you could cut some shorter bits, some longer bits, depending on the style you want. I'm just going to cut this straight across. And I've got not the best scissors, so hopefully use some sharper scissors than I did. And we're done. So you're all done. You've made your macrame basket. Congratulations. Hope you've learned something new. Now all you need to do is find a very cool plant to fill your plant hanger with. So good luck with that. I'm a little bit plant obsessed, so I'm sure you are too.